quick description on how I've wired the auxiliary fuse panel. So rather than having this auxiliary fuse panel wired directly through to the battery, that means this would be active or possible current draw continuously. I don't want that. I've pretty much got that wired, and that's how I've done it. So when you turn the ignition on, that engages our relay, then turn livens the fuse, and in that way the theory is if you're in the car utilising these items, then you can have the ignition on, hopefully with the engine running. If you've got the engine running, then this is then being charged basically by the generator. This afternoon's work, I've got the fuse panel in. I have a relay wired into the circuit, so we don't have a constant power supply to the fuse panel. I've mounted the USBs this side and the one over this side. Pop the lid open, should be able to see. Make it dark enough. There you go. Little blue LED, it's illuminating. What I do have a problem with is the washer pump, so that's part of that circuit. If I push this button, I'm getting power to the pump, but the pump's not running. It started to run, then stopped. Few screws for the washer pump, so I've taken her off and given it a clean out. So let's give it a try. So ignition on, so that relay will now be powered. If we push that button, we should get some washer function. So let's see if we can get this focused out here somewhere. That's her there. Push the button. Yo yo, working. Knock up a quick bracket. This will be our heads-up display power supply. The idea is that you can plug an auxiliary port into here. So if you want to charge something that doesn't actually need a USB or is a different denomination of charging port, you just plug it into there. So the heads-up display power supply is now mounted. Give the socket a test. Try not to short it out. There we go. Power supply. Now I'm almost on top of the power supplies in the car. I think our next step will be fixing this. Also like to have a clean work area. So part of today's work is to remove some of this insulation because we've got a double up on double up and having a problem with clutch engagement because we've got so much packing here. The original Mini would have had next to nothing, so that's working on that travel. We need to fix it up, which I'm doing now. This is, so far we've removed that to give us some clearance. A bit more progress on the interior. So we've got the insulation back sorted out. That part is in. That's what we've got. That panel's in. It's working. It's labelled. This is the culprit that was causing us issues way back when we started working on the car. Excuse me. What I found is it looks like it may have been poor contact in here, which overheated the contact here, which melted the insulator, and that crept out, shorted out in the cluster, or speedo, whatever you want to call it. Finding it difficult to find a socket that's thin-walled enough to fit inside the sports steering wheel. I'm big enough to undo this, so what I'm going to do is make a tool and steering wheel nut, one tool, sorted, without having to go and buy an expensive socket. Steering column back in the car, lining everything up, blinker switch back in, needed to be moved into position, and for that to happen we had to modify the blinker switch hole just a margin because it was just dragging on that. Can't say I'm a big fan of these new covers. Even manipulating the mounting brackets, which mounts that screw and the bottom screw. Still got this cavity on here. And you're in this side, and it's only just making contact. Just confirm the canceller works. So you have a blinking, turn to one way, turns it off. The new tool works perfectly. Steering column in. Short pigtail wire made up for the horn button. And it works. This is slightly satisfying. So we have a couple of other snags happening at the moment. The wipers won't drive. There's a problem with the drive cable. Have a slight problem where we can select reverse gear but won't release reverse gear. So I think we've got a problem with the gearbox, maybe. Or the selector. I'll have a look, see what I can see.